So this is a rotating supercell thunderstorm right now. It's tracking its way off to sort of this northeasterly direction, and the tornado warning goes until 5:15. But let's just show you some of the warnings that we have across the area right now. And there it is. Tornado warning is going to expire. Did they say that they would allow that to expire in Jeff Davis County? Really looks like they're in the clear.
They're in the clear. They're letting that one expire, and then Charleston, our National Weather Service in Charleston covers Tattnall County, and they extended put out a severe thunderstorm warning and said tornado possible. So we could see.
And how long does that one go until?
That one goes until 5:45 for the severe thunderstorm warning. So we could see that tornado warning extended in towards Tattnall County.
All right, we're laser focused on all the warnings. Obviously, the ones we have up are for the tornado warnings, but if you live within the yellow lines, all of our friends in the Reedsville area in Tattnall County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning, as Victoria mentioned, until 5:45. Don't wait until then, though, because these leading edge here, these winds are going to be in your vicinity way before 5:45. It just means the warning goes from now all the way until then. So anytime between now and then, be prepared for a severe thunderstorm to move over your community. Right here's the Toombs Central area. This is pretty much reaching you right now. And that rotation, we think, has now made its way into primarily Toombs County. So Jeff Davis County right now, that area will be, that warning will be allowed to expire here at the top of the hour. But just know that area of Jeff Davis County, you're in the clear, not the case for Toombs County. Let's go in and a little more storm analysis, because this is starting to look like a little more interesting radar feature here. And I want to show you some of those communities that are right down in here. See if we can find those once again. I think we had falling rocks. Looks like the rotation just passed by your area, right on top of English Eddy on Highway 1. That's pretty much where the rotation is concentrated right now. So anyone in and around English Eddy, please be taking your tornado precautions. Here's Highway 147. So that goes right through this. If you have friends or family that are headed westbound towards English Eddy, maybe tell them to just hold off, pull off to the side of the road. If they have someone they know out in this area, maybe go hang out with them for a few minutes at their home. Wait till this thunderstorm passes by. The rotation is enough to prompt a tornado warning, so certainly spin-up tornado is a possibility really at any time. That's the area pretty much centered right on top of English Eddy, where there could be a very quick spin-up tornado. Our shear tracks also sort of showing that, headed towards Falling Rocks, and will shortly be extended towards English Eddy. Sometimes these storm tracks lag by 5 or 10 minutes, so that will be updating. And these will probably go north and then curve their way a little bit off to the north and east. Let's get back to the radar. And yes.
Issued for Appling County, that one small portion, we said it was located near Plant Hatch. Well, we did have a storm report at 4:45, so about just 10 minutes ago, of trees uprooted and snapped along the roads. So there has been either some strong winds that we were talking about earlier, about up to about 50 miles per hour, and that tornado warning. Again, that was Plant Hatch, that small portion of Appling County, and we have a report of trees down, snapped, and uprooted right now. So definitely some strong winds out there. We are seeing some broad rotation, and that was for Appling County. That was about 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so that is the storm report Victoria was alluding to. The description there, the report from, what does that say? You just want to read that? It's real small print here on the TV.
It's the city's Plant Hatch. It's reported trees uprooted, snapped, and then again, that's from thunderstorm wind damage. So we saw those straight line winds up to about 50 miles per hour. So that's one of our main concerns with this.
Okay, and we were pinpointing that well in advance. We were saying, hey, watch out, that line is starting to arc out. And right now, it's areas south of I-16. That's where the focus is at. We have numerous warnings out there right now. So let's see if we can highlight everyone. Give you the very latest. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning. That will go for just a little bit longer for Pierce County. Just so much lightning and torrential rain as these thunderstorms move through. And then that's not even to speak about, you could have a wind gust quickly of 50 to 60 miles per hour down there into Pierce County. How about Tattnall County? This area right here is a severe thunderstorm warning, those yellow lines until 5:45. This is the area we have to keep very close tabs on because that damage report that came in with some of those trees that were toppled, we're in that sort of that vicinity of Jeff Davis, Appling, and southern Toombs County. I believe the report, as we just said, though, was into the Appling County area. So our tornado warning continues, and we always want to stay laser focused on these little itty-bitty roads, communities within the path of the storm. Let's get right down here. So Toombs Central, we think this rotation almost looks like it's over Highway 1 currently. And let's do a little bit more storm analysis. And there it is. Fairly broad rotation right now, not concentrated. So we think it's still a radar indicated tornado, but that does not mean you can't have stronger straight line winds, maybe 50, 60 miles per hour or so out ahead of this, and we need to watch that as well. Some stronger winds starting to spread their way towards Highway 178. If you're in that area, you are in the tornado warning, and that tornado warning is going to continue about another 15 minutes for this portions of Toombs County, and then we'll have to watch our friends off to the east, Reedsville. Right now, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. But again, if this storm would just strengthen just a tiny bit, they're going to have to continue this tornado warning off to the east. So these thunderstorms, they pulse up, they strengthen, rotation gets a little more pronounced, and you get those tornado warnings. Maybe it weakens or relaxes a little bit, and then they say, hey, maybe we can just get by with a severe thunderstorm warning for the stronger straight line winds. But either way, we're on top of it here for you, and we're going to continue to monitor this. The tornado warnings that we have out there right now, there it is for Toombs County until 5:15, and along the county line, that's until 5, and we're going to continue our tornado coverage here in just 1 second.
Covering Southeast Georgia and the Low Country, this is WJCL 22 News at 5. See us now.
Right now at 5, we are starting with breaking news. Our meteorologist Jeremy Nelson and Victoria Kokinos, they've been tracking severe weather for the last hour or so. Right now, you're taking a live look outside at State Route 25 and I-95 in Bryan County. As you can see, there are some dark clouds in the sky there. Doesn't look like it's raining there just yet, but Jeremy, you were just talking about Toombs County. They are under a tornado warning right now.
Yeah, and that tornado warning, Brooke, continues for about another 15 minutes. We were the first station on here in the Savannah area, Southeast Georgia, and the Low Country covering these tornado warning storms this afternoon. Already received some reports of trees down, and we're continuing our tornado coverage because Toombs County right now, you have a tornado warning that goes until 5:15. A little bit farther off to the east, the Reedsville area, severe thunderstorm warning, that goes for you until 5:45. So we're going to do several things here. First off, we want to just back the view out, get your perspective a little bit of what we have going on across the area. So the tornado warning, and you need to take your tornado precautions. Head to your safest spot of your home is within these red lines, and that is for Toombs County. Severe thunderstorm warning there for the yellow shaded area. Those lines, if you're within those, you're in the warning until 5:45. But this line goes all the way down farther to the south. So we're going to continue to watch this closely. We've had a lot of warnings along this line so far today. Victoria, how much longer do we have on this Pierce County warning? That was for winds potentially upwards of 60 miles per hour and also a little bit of hail contained within that storm.
The Pierce County warning went until 5:15, so we have a few more minutes left on that one for winds and hail that we're seeing in this entire line that's moving through.
All right, and let's go down there really quick, and then we're going to get right to this tornado warning storm. I don't want to forget about our friends down here. This is headed towards the Jessup area, but once again, we're seeing this bowing feature, which is indicative of stronger straight line winds. There could easily be winds, maybe 40, 50 plus miles per hour on this leading edge of this line. What we're going to do is just take you right back up to that tornado warned area. There's Baxley. You've had some stronger storms move through this afternoon, and in that Toombs Central area right now, let's take an x-ray of this storm. We'll give you sort of our take on what we're thinking. Yeah, there's still some pretty broad rotation right there, and that was enough to prompt this tornado warning this afternoon. So within the red lines, tornado warning, take your tornado precautions. If you're in this area where there's a severe thunderstorm warning, like in the Reedsville area, you want to prepare for some stronger, what I think would be straight line winds. And then we obviously have to watch this rotation as we go through really the remainder of this afternoon and then into this evening. Victoria, check this out. You can almost pick out sort of this little curly Q in here. That is just that thunderstorm, pretty rapid rotation in there. Did you see that?
The comma, yeah. You
Yeah,
can see
that
it.
comma.
That's kind of indicating where those stronger winds are in the rotation that we're seeing. And you can definitely tell where it is on the map right now over Toombs Central.
Yeah, so that is Toombs County right there. And then to the next of it is Tattnall County. And how fast did you say? Around 30 miles per hour these are moving?
30 miles per hour towards northeast.
Okay, we'll put a storm track on this. And in just a second, I'll probably have you go over some of the latest storm reports that we have across our area, because we did get some reports of some trees down. And this right now, about 30 miles per hour. So let's take this off to the north and northeast. All of our friends out there in rural areas of southeast Georgia, let's try to find some locations for you within the path of this storm, the timeline when the winds would be arriving. Lyons at 5:07, that's just a couple minutes away now. Reedsville 5:21. In the A-line area, 5:35, Metter. So that's looking all the way up towards Candler County at 5:48, and Pulaski around 6:01. So there it is, that rotation right now. That storm pretty pronounced, but that could be broad rotation. So just a general rotating mesocyclone thunderstorm that we have down in that area of Toombs County. That storm not only could produce a quick spin-up tornado, but also on this leading edge, we're thinking there could be some of those stronger straight line winds of maybe like 50 or 60 miles per hour. And those are the winds you need to watch out for, because we had some reports of trees down. Do you want to go over that really quickly?
Reports of trees down earlier, and that was in Plant Hatch, and that was from Appling County at 4:45 from the straight line wind. So the winds were up to about 50 miles per hour. So even outside of the broad rotation that we're seeing, we're still seeing these strong winds that are uprooting trees. And again, that was in Appling County, even though only a small portion was in that tornado warning, uprooted trees, and we're getting reports that trees and tree branches were snapped. We also are seeing right now that Charleston Severe National Weather Service office said tornado possible. They're seeing this tornado warning being extended towards Tattnall County right now, and then maybe towards Tattnall County. And they're saying maybe with that they could see the severe thunderstorm warning because of the winds being up towards about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So within this line, our main concern will be the winds. We still have that tornado warning in place, and we could see that be extended towards Tattnall County, but they said they're really focusing on right now those straight line winds that could cause damage. And again, earlier today we saw damage in Appling County. That was from the straight line winds from uprooted trees. And earlier in Hazelhurst, we did have a funnel cloud, and that was our only other report that we're having for the moment. So we'll see if this is extended towards Tattnall County, but definitely all of us seeing that line move through are going to feel some gusty winds and maybe some small hail as this moves through the area.
Yeah, so don't go outside. Don't go looking for if there's any damage. Wait till these storms are clearly by your area. We will give you the all clear. We'll let you know when the warnings have expired. If they're a tornado warning and it passes by, we'll definitely give you the all clear. Like Jeff Davis County, you're in the all clear, and also Appling County, you are now in the all clear from the tornadic winds that the radar has been indicating. I believe we have a camera. We can take a look at that right now. And this is once again in the Toombs County area. Just some sort of darker skies there right now. That looks like maybe a little bit of rain trying to fall, but no strong winds, at least in that portion of Toombs County. That was a state route, to give you a little more perspective, 15, I believe, and McIntosh Street. So that is in Toombs County. If you're waiting for these storms to arrive, probably getting some very dark skies right now in this western area of Tattnall County. Also, even into Evans County, you're probably starting to get some of those threatening skies. There is a ton of lightning associated with this, so lots of rumbles of thunder. You'll start to maybe hear those soon right along I-16 in Candler County. Bullitt County, you also want to watch these thunderstorms closely. We think the farther north they start moving, they should start to weaken just a little bit. That's hopefully a trend we will see very soon. But so far, it looks like we have another severe thunderstorm warning. I'll move down and pull that one up, and then maybe Victoria can give us a little more information on that. There's the one in Pierce County. That looks like a nasty storm. That could have a little bit of hail contained within that, along with some stronger winds. So while you're going over the information of the latest warning, I'm going to pull up like our hail tracker and some things like that.
So with the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, this is for portions of Appling and Wayne County, and this goes until 5:45 this evening. So we've been talking about this entire line as it moves through. We have that tornado watch in place. So Appling and Wayne County, severe thunderstorm warning happening right now until 5:45 this evening. But they're saying within the system, if we want to pull up the velocity, that a tornado is possible. So it's not
And which
indicated.
one was that?
This is for Appling and Wayne County.
Okay, so I just quickly circled where hail is present with some of these storms. We think the hail would be largest into Pierce County. So what storm do you want me to focus in on? I'll head over towards it.
For the Appling and Wayne County severe thunderstorm warning, they're saying a tornado is possible. So we could look at the velocity for that one and the wind to see if there is any rotation.
Yeah, let's definitely, we'll zoom into that one and give everyone a little more advance heads up, because it's always good to know about these winds that start tightening up before a tornado warning is even issued. So we're alluding to areas east of Baxley. Right down here is that Appling County area, and then that little tiny piece of Wayne County. So somewhere in here is where there could be some winds starting to tighten up just a little bit. Yeah, definitely right now. That is probably some of the strongest rotation we've seen in any cell here recently. So I would watch that closely. There definitely could be a tornado warning issued for maybe portions of Appling County and into Wayne County. How fast was that moving? We should probably put a storm track on that.
This one was moving northeast at 35 miles per hour.
Okay, so that's
this whole line is moving towards northeast right now.
Yeah, and that's something both of us have said. We're really starting to see the forward speed pick up here slightly with this. And let's back the view out here. I'm going to move it, and then we'll put a storm track on this, because if a tornado warning would be issued for Appling, Wayne, maybe Tatnall, or a little bit of Long County, we'll give you that advance heads up. Right now, that looks like, what'd you say the movement, around 30?
35 miles per hour towards northeast.
Okay, there it is off to the north and east, right around there. So the Odom area, you'd be first up, and that's around 511, 528 in Reedsville. Glenville there appears like 538 in the Belleville area at 554, and then Claxton shortly after that. So that's the timeline of this severe thunderstorm that has been warned. Obviously, winds potentially upwards of around 60 miles per hour. Could be a little bit of hail. We think the biggest hail, though, is contained Pierce headed into Wayne County, and that there's that tornado warning right now that continues for Toombs County. We'll see if that ends up getting extended into Tatnall County, but so far, it looks like that would be expiring, about another 4 minutes?
Severe thunderstorm warning?
The tornado warning, is that
Yes,
until 5:15?
Yes, 5:15.
Okay, if there's no tornado warnings at 5:15, we'll definitely carry on with our newscast. But until we can get rid of this tornado warned storm, we're definitely going to stay focused on all those warnings across our area, especially this tornado warning. We'll go in very quickly here, look at the velocity. There it is, fairly broad with that tornado warned system. And that thunderstorm right now is, for the most part, very close to Toombs Central. You can get a good idea. It looks like we had a tornado warning issued, Victoria. We're going to head down to that one. Brand new tornado warning. We were just highlighting this cell and giving you that advance heads up into Appling and also Wayne County here. So the warning right now, we'll put that up for you, give you the very latest. It's a tornado warning that goes all the way till 5:45. And if you have the updated movement, I'll get to you in just a second, but this does include a little bit of Appling County and also this little portion here of Wayne County. So this is making its way off to the sort of the northeast, it looks like, by the warning and the speed with that one.
This one's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour, and it was near Surrency.
Okay. So let's get right down there. We want to let all our friends know in Appling and Wayne County, we're going to keep you safe here at WJCL 22, but some of the communities right now, as Victoria mentioned, Surrency right there, there's Highway 341. Odom, you're not included in this warning, but we just want to give you some locators down here. Highway 121 goes right through a little bit of the tornado warned area, and we can show you the x-ray of this storm. There it is. It looks like in the last scan, I mean, it did prompt a tornado warning. Somewhere in here is a fairly broad rotation, and this is radar indicated at the moment. So any new storm reports coming in across the area?
There's no new storm reports. With this latest warning, they're saying it's radar indicated, and the rotation was near Surrency. So it's pretty broad for the moment. This one goes until 5:45 this evening. We're still seeing those winds up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour and maybe some dime-size hail within this storm.
All right, so the tornado warnings that we have right now, just in a couple minutes, we think the one will expire for Toombs County, but then we're laser focused on this storm that's pulsed up a little bit and prompted a warning for Appling County into Wayne County. So again, this is all within that tornado watch area that goes until 7 p.m. this evening. So we're thinking the farther north these storms travel, they will start to get a little bit weaker as we go through the evening hours. So that is certainly some good news, but as of right now, we do have tornado warnings out there. And let's show you the a little more backed out view across our area. There's Surrency, and we can show you here across southeast Georgia what we're looking at. We'll see in just a moment. Looks like we have another minute and a half. This tornado warning, we're certainly hoping that one disappears.
They are going to let the tornado warning expire, and also the severe thunderstorm warning in Pierce County also expire. So both of those warnings should go away.
Okay, so strong storm is still present down here. We're hopeful that warning, that will disappear here in just a moment. Tornado warning up here, as Victoria alluded to, about another minute left on that one. But this is the new storm we're watching. And then also down here, there's so much lightning with this. Sometimes you get a lot of lightning that's either indication the storm is maintaining its strength or it's potentially strengthening. So that storm down there, we still have to watch the potential for hail. And also, we'll go look at that in just a second. Let's just move down there right now and take a little closer inspection, because that almost looks like it has a feature hail core within that. So the severe thunderstorm warning goes another 30 seconds, but we have to watch that area. There is a hail core within that, and these have been pulsing up and down. So we want to let all of our friends know in this portion of Wayne County, you definitely could be seeing maybe dime to penny size hail. Let's go up the line just a little bit here. We'll move this a little bit closer so we can see the tornado warned storm. Primarily, that's just radar indicated rotating winds, potential for a spin up tornado. Not a lot of hail with that one. And we'll go back to the traditional radar view for everyone. And we can also turn on the warnings here for just a second to quickly recap where we are at. Tornado warning until 5:45. So that's still another 30 minutes that we'll be keeping an eye on this. And certainly in the back, if you have any new cameras for us to take a look at, maybe Glenville area, Jessup, Baxley even, probably a lot of rain in the Baxley area has moved through within about the last 15 to 30 minutes. Anything you can do, if you have any visuals back there, we'll certainly take a look at them here to help tell our story here about what's going on across portions of interior southeast Georgia. And that story right now is the tornado warning system that we have right here. This thunderstorm will go in and take a little closer look at the velocity. And there it is, right in that area. You get some of these red and green colors next to each other, and that does indicate some rotation. Do you want to go over, have they given any new updates on that warning that they put out?
They haven't had any more updates on this tornado warning. Again, it is moving off to the northeast at about 25 miles per hour. It's radar indicated, so we're still seeing that broad rotation that Jeremy's showing you on the screen right now. So there hasn't been a tornado spotted on the ground, but we are still seeing some stronger winds with this. Again, this goes until about 5:45 this evening, so about the next 30 minutes. And this is the warning the only tornado warning that we have on the ground right now.
Okay, and that's in the Tyson area at 6:01. So it's actually outside of this where it started to pick up some slightly larger communities. This is more over rural Appling, rural Wayne County. The Glenville area, though, if this would hold together, even if it is not tornado warning, could be a stronger thunderstorm, maybe a gust of wind in your area. That would be around 6:08 p.m. So a little bit farther down the road. In the short term, though, the focus is on right by the county line here of Appling and Wayne counties. And the camera that you're looking at there, I believe that's the one we have seen earlier. It's sort of hard to tell here, but look towards the top of that screen. Might be some standing water if that's a field or a parking lot or a lawn there by that intersection in Appling County. They had some very heavy rain move through there, and it still looks like some rain coming down or water droplets there where that camera is at. Right here, that may be starting to look a little more interesting with some of that rotation trying to wrap up slightly. So we'll go take a little bit closer inspection and also see if we can find any communities, and then if any new storm reports would happen to pop up, we'll toss it to Victoria with an update on that. So Brentwood right now to Surrency. This is right along Golden Isle E. So Golden Isle East, I believe that is. That road right there, that's where the rotation is at, and it's just going to bump north of that here very soon. I would say Surrency, give it another minute or two, you will be in the clear. Same for our friends in Brentwood, a few more minutes. We'll wait till this storm moves a little bit more to the northeast, and we can clear our friends along Highway 341. But we'll definitely wait just a couple more minutes with that. What we can also do is check out if we've had any hail move in. Maybe some smaller size hail. That doesn't really jump out at me. And the shear tracks right now, which indicate some spin. Not too many of those into the Appling County area, at least approaching Highway 341. So that is at least a piece of some good news. We're going to go to the radar, and then we're going to go back to our traditional home view because we have a lot of people interested across the area. Hey, what's going on in other locations? Well, the rain has moved out of the low country, and we can check out the heritage right now. So if we go, I believe we have a camera out there. Hopefully our live shot, if we can take a live view, otherwise I'm just going to keep talking. All right, how about that? That's a ray of sunshine, I think. The clouds have broken up just a little bit, and they are continuing that first round play. They did have a lightning delay out there earlier. No severe weather, but golf and lightning, not a great mixture at all. So they made sure the players, the spectators, and the workers were all safe. Had them move inside. Harbortown right now, there's the golf links, top of the lighthouse. Look at those flags up there at the top. They're definitely moving around. It's been a breezy day at Harbortown and on Hilton Head Island. A little break, though, in the cloud cover. And then off in the distance, just past the quarter deck there, towards the Calabogie Sound on the horizon, some of those lower darkening clouds, and that looks its way back into more towards Jasper County and then into southeast Georgia. So is starting to pick up something there on the horizon. And if we have any other cameras across the area, certainly we can look at those. We have our tornado warning that continues for Appling and into Wayne County, and we'll continue to monitor that. All right, we're back to the radar here. Gave you an update on the low country. Dry in downtown Savannah. Watching thunderstorms down to our south, and one of those is a tornado warning cell. So we're going to go in, show you a little bit more information, then we'll toss it over to our team coverage for the very latest with Victoria. Quick x-ray of that storm gives us a little more insight. Obviously, there's definitely still some rotation being indicated with that. If you live just sort of ending it, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. And that's more for like straight line winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour. We have had in varying parts of our area some reports of trees down today. Baxley, you're in the clear from the tornado warning cell. Jessup, we're going to watch that line move in your direction, so we're not clearing you from any type of severe weather quite yet, but nothing threatening at least at this second. Glenville, you have to watch these storms once they start exiting Appling and also into Wayne County. And I think Victoria may have had an update on some of the storm reports.
So we for the latest update on the severe thunderstorm warning. So we still have that severe thunderstorm warning outside of that tornado warning for Appling and Wayne County, where they're still saying that tornado is possible. So we're keeping an eye if that tornado warning is extended, but within this, we're seeing winds gusts up to about 60 miles per hour, and we're still seeing some about dime to penny size hail within this too. We haven't had any updates on any storm reports. Now, once this storm clears your area, we want you to stay safe, but as you're in the clear and the rain and storms do move out, you can always let us know if you have any reports for your area or your home, any trees down, siding off of the house as well. We have an update also on the tornado warning. They're still continuing it until 5:45 this evening. We're still seeing that small hail, and again, it is radar indicated. Right now, it's still located near Serency. It's moving a little bit slower at about 25 miles per hour towards the northeast. So again, within these systems and these storms, we're having winds up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. I would not be surprised after we see some uprooted trees or some tree limbs on power lines as well, or snap trees as we go throughout the evening.
All right, so the tornado warning you mentioned was at 25 miles per hour?
Yes.
Okay, we'll put a storm track on that, because even if you're maybe just outside of where the winds are rotating, we have had, as Victoria mentioned, some reports of trees down in parts of our area. You could get easily a wind gust 50 to 60 miles per hour, so this is tracking its way. We're going to go all the way from Reedsville here down to the south, and then take this off to the north and east. That was about 25 miles per hour. So in that vicinity, we look towards Reedsville. Obviously, we can see that it's on your doorstep. Maybe next minute or so, you'll have a live camera hopefully pop up here in just a second. That's in Toombs County, wet pavement out there. You've been given the all clear, though, from that tornado warning cell. Tyson, Glenville, and then I'm going to step off here to see this. Belleville at 6:03. 6:21 in the Claxton area. So those are all cities and estimated times of arrival for these thunderstorms. And we have one tornado warning that continues across our area. There it is. And then behind this, it's looking great. It dries out very quickly. So we have this one line of severe thunderstorms, and then really that's it for our area. We'll move this a little bit and then put some of those warnings on here once again for you. In the Jessup area right now, thunderstorm about to swing through. It almost appears, though, that this entire line could be weakening a little bit, with the strongest one still containing that tornado warning that goes until, we'll show you right here, until 5:45 this afternoon. So maybe another 15 or 20 minutes. Hopefully, we'll be given the all clear. But as of right now, if you are within these red lines, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. We still, when we did that little x-ray of the storm, we're indicating some rotation within that. Up to the north, our friends right now in sort of that western half of Tattnall County, you need to be watching out for some of those winds that are arcing out with that line, that bow echo, the winds rushing out of the thunderstorm. With winds potentially 40, 50, wind gusts could even reach upwards of about 60 miles per hour. In Savannah, we are looking really good right now. We're still monitoring this very closely, the tornado warning that really started all of this here in the last about 25, 30 minutes into this portion of Appling County. Right here is Wayne, and then up in that area, I believe is Tattnall County. So Serency, this is passed by your area, and we can give you an update now on sort of the velocity. Much better news, it's pretty broad across the area, but we'll have to watch this vicinity right in here, sort of that central part of the tornado warning that goes until 5:45 this afternoon. Anyone right along this jagged county line here and then hopping its way up to the north, I would watch that closely. We've had the rotation. Sort of gets broad, and then it gets a little more concentrated and tightens. That's when the spin is a little more pronounced on the radar. So we have, even if we have no tornadoes reported, we have had some stronger straight line winds across portions of the area. And then just tons of lightning. Not a good storm to go out and play in. None are that have lightning in it. But look at all of these lightning strikes that we have here. That's just within about the last 10 to 15 minutes. Prolific lightning producer. And also, you could have easily a ½ inch to an inch of rain in a very short amount of time. Tremendous heavy downpour is expected as these storms sweep through the area. Let me put the tornado warning back on here so you can get a good idea. We'll point right to it. There it is, tornado warning. Within those red lines, there is Surrency. You're right on the edge. We're hopeful we can clear you very soon from the warning, and we'll back the view out here just enough to give you a little better perspective of what's sort of up to the north of this. And we also have a severe thunderstorm warning. That's a new warning, right? For northern, it looks like northern Tattnall County.
Yeah, so they trimmed it a little bit for northern Tattnall County, and they also said that they do not plan on putting a tornado warning on this, and they're going to keep an eye on the system moving from Appling County towards Tattnall County.
Okay.
But the current severe thunderstorm warning, they will allow to expire at 5:45, and they don't plan on putting the tornado warning on it.
Okay, that is the news we wanted to hear here, because that way we'll be able to resume our newscast here in pretty short order. But we're going to watch this just a few more minutes. It's a tornado warning. So again, radar's indicating a little bit of circulation with that. But if we go do that little x-ray of the storm again, we get maybe about another 5 minutes down the road. We'll probably toss it back to Brooke, and we'll continue our newscast because the National Weather Service, obviously they're the ones that issue the warnings for our area, and they've given us an indication that it looks like this storm will not get an extension of the tornado warning. Doesn't mean it can't happen, though. Earlier in Jeff Davis County, we hopped off for maybe about 2 minutes. The tornado warning expired, and then we mentioned these are sort of pulse thunderstorms, so they'll strengthen, maybe lose a little bit of their strength, pulse up again, and that's what happened. So we were off 2 minutes, and then we're right back on tracking another tornado warning. This tornado warning that we have, though, that Victoria was going over Appling County into a little portion of Wayne County, that is going to continue its trek off to the north and east. It's been anywhere about 25, 30, 35 miles per hour. Even if there's no rotation within it, still have to watch. Could be some stronger winds, 30, 40, 50 miles per hour. And then up to the north, this little arc or bend that we have in the radar into Tattnall County, that could be winds, again, maybe 50 or 60 miles per hour. So that's sort of the severe weather concerns that we have across the area right now. Tornado warning, obviously, we're watching the radar indicated spin with that one, and then just stronger straight line winds up to the north. But let's go down. Again, we can do a little bit of an x-ray, see if we're noticing same thing as the National Weather Service. We'll take the warnings off here, give you a nice clean look at the radar before we do a little more analysis. There's Surrency. So we think if there's rotation, it's probably in this vicinity, but certainly hopeful that we don't really see much there. And we can sort of wrap things up right in that area. And so right here is Appling County. Here's Wayne County, Highway 121. It's tracking its way off to a little more of a north-northeasterly direction. And a little better news there, that's pretty broad rotation at this second, but the tornado warning goes for another 15 minutes. We'll give it another few minutes, see how things look. I always like to sort of back the view out here, show everyone across the area. Actually, we're going to go take a look right there because I want to show all of our friends in, looks like western areas of Tattnall County. Those could be some stronger thunderstorm winds starting to approach the Reedsville area, so that's why you have a severe thunderstorm warning right now. If we happen to have a DOT camera in the Reedsville area, it'd be great to take a look at that because the thunderstorm is about to move in, and these are some stronger, just plain old straight line winds about to push across your area that could be upwards of 40, 50, maybe 60 miles per hour. You are within the severe thunderstorm warning right now. So in that portion of Tattnall County, watch for this core that we have of winds to push its way off to the north and east. So that's the very latest with that particular thunderstorm. That one definitely sort of grabbed my attention, though. Let's head back to the radar, and then we'll back the view out here. I know a lot of people are wondering, hey, are these thunderstorms going to reach my area? Well, for the most part, the focus is definitely near and south of I-16. As these start to get farther to the north, we're really hoping and thinking that they will start to lose a little bit of their punch here across coastal Georgia and the low country. So far, the low country, after you had that kind of that mid to late afternoon batch of thunderstorms move through, very quiet. You're in a lull right now. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at right here, but it does look like there's some puddles or ponding. Could you say that one more time? Okay, so Statesboro right now is our camera. So right there, Statesboro. Just some cloudy, dreary conditions there. Certainly possible that these thunderstorms make it in that direction as we go through this evening. The warning, though, that we have that we're still on covering this, the tornado warning, is for Appling and also Wayne County. There is just so much lightning contained within these thunderstorms this afternoon, so they're not ones that you want to be outside at all when they sweep through your area. Let's go. This one is starting to look like it's more of a kind of a straight line winds pushing through, but a little bit of rotation. Anything new there that they've mentioned?
They haven't mentioned anything new about the warnings moving through or any updates so far on any storm reports. I think in a second we're going to pull up Traffic Track and we can look at some GDOT cameras to look at the roads. But right now we're just looking at some heavy rain and then we have that warning in place. I haven't seen any more updates on any tree damage or siding or tree snapped.
Okay. This is definitely starting to do that little bowing feature, which to me would say, hey, it's transitioning from maybe more of a tornado threat to a straight line wind threat, which could be 40, 50, 60 mile per hour winds. We had that a little bit earlier around the Baxley area as that thunderstorm started to rush through. So we'll watch that very closely. There's very heavy downpours contained within this. And we can show you some of the storm reports that we've seen so far across the area. I know Victoria's been going over those. Let's see what this one was. This was, again, right along that Jeff Davis and Appling County line. And we can talk about that one a little bit more with some of those thunderstorm winds that rushed out with that thunderstorm. That was around Plant Hatch. In that report that you see there, from MPing. So that's an app that Victoria and I both have that on our phones. It's one that you can just report very quickly what you're seeing in your neighborhood, but it gives us as a meteorologist information in real time. So that report came of some trees that were uprooted and or snapped, and that was from some thunderstorm wind damage. The live look outside that you're checking out right now, went out for 1 second, it'll come back, it kind of goes back and forth, is from Appling County. So we think that is probably west of where some of the worst of the weather conditions are currently at into Appling County. Because Appling County, you still have that tornado warning, a little bit of Wayne County there. And then we think the Glenville area, you'll probably have more like a severe thunderstorm roll through your area. That's something that we'll be watching here as we go through the next several minutes. We can do our little x-ray of the storm once again. And still finding maybe some broad rotation, maybe trying to tighten up a little bit there. So that's something we'll have to watch. Don't want to quite give the all clear on this one for sure quite yet. And we can move this up. This is approaching, getting closer to the county line now. Let me see what that road is. Beards Bluff Road, and then closer to Madre Springs. So west of those areas, that's where the rotation is at. So I'm going to toss it to Victoria with a little bit more.
Traffic across the area, and we can look at that radar of the rain moving through of the traffic. So this is Traffic Track 22. You can see it's small, but we have those GDOT cameras showing a lot of rain on the roadways. As this line of storms and rain makes its way towards south of I-16, it's moving off towards northeast. It looks like that line pretty much is moving between 25 to 35 miles per hour. It's dumping a lot of rain. We're getting a few rain reports in right now. We're still keeping an eye on that severe thunderstorm warning, but even if you are not in this warning, you can see on the radar that heavy rain moving through. So if you're out of the warning right now, if you have to head out the door and you're south of I-16 along this line of storms, make sure either to allow yourself some extra time, take it slow. We're seeing wind gusts up to about 50 or 60 miles per hour. That can be blinding if you are heading out the door, especially driving. And we're also seeing and radar indicated hail from penny to dime size as well. So this is Storm Tracker. This is our Traffic Track network, and that camera, it's small, but you can see rain on the roadways. It's dumping rain. This is near Reedsville right now, heading off towards northeast at about 20 miles per hour. So within this storm, we have that tornado warning in place until about 5:45. So that's about 10 more minutes. But this entire line is producing, looks like winds up to about 50 to 60 miles per hour. We just had an update as well for those. Again, try not to head out the door if you can, but those near Long and Tattnall County, a severe thunderstorm warning issued until 6:15 tonight. So we are still seeing in this warning winds up to about 60 miles per hour. Again, when it blows this rain, it makes it blinding if you are driving. And we are seeing some flooding and some puddling on the roadway. So make sure to take it slow. There is a little bit of puddling out there, especially in our more rural areas or where there is easily flooding. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued now for along in Tattnall County. That's where you can see right there on our traffic track that heavier rain starting to move through. So winds are up to about 60 miles per hour within this system. And we actually have a look right now, I think, at Tattnall County. So again, heavy rain right now. You can see cars moving and splashing as they drive through and under those stoplights. And it looks like a little bit of puddling on the roadways. Take it slow. Make sure to not hydroplane. And the roads right now are just completely wet and flooded from that rain moving through. So heavy rain, and when these storms move slowly, again, it is about 25 miles per hour. That allows more rain to dump out there. So it looks like we just saw a flash of lightning. These storms are producing excessive lightning, and some of them were cloud to ground lightning. So if you can, stay indoors until the storm does pass. This GDOT camera, again, is Tattnall County, and that's where we have that severe thunderstorm warning right now for Tattnall and Long County. That's until 6:15 for tonight. So Jeremy's showing right now, too, that heavier rain moving through. And we saw that tornado warning in place right now, correct? Until